again for another story time. And you're back again for another story time. And I am so happy to see you. It's our special time, isn't it? Even though we're not face to face, it's still a fun time for us to share. And there's still so much stuff going on at the library. I wish you all could come in and visit me. Come see me in the library. But even if you can't, I'm glad that we could have this, and you can watch craft videos and do crafts with Miss Keiko and sometimes me. Miss Keiko's are better than mine, but that's okay. Sometimes it's just about having fun, not about making something that looks beautiful, right? Well, I've got some pretty good stories today and some good songs, and I can't wait to share them with you. So I think we should get started, right? Yeah. Here we go. Here we are together again, let's clap and make some noise. It's time to share some stories and songs with all the girls and boys. So come and gather all around, and then we will begin to open up our listening ears. It's story time again. So I have a very special first story, and that's because I had a very special visitor at the library, Miss Azaria. It was very nice to see you today. Mrs. Zario said that she enjoyed watching the story times, and she wanted to know if I could tell a story about elephants. And I said I would be happy to. So here is this story for Azaria, and I hope you really like it. See, a long time ago in another country, there was this abandoned village. Can you imagine? It was a village that a lot of people used to live in, but then some of them moved away and others moved away, and pretty soon there was nothing left but empty houses. But it wasn't exactly empty, because an abandoned village is just perfect for a village full of mice. The mice were thrilled to live in the abandoned village. They had places they could stay when it was raining, or shade to go inside when it was too hot outside, and there was plenty of crumbs that were left over. Certainly enough for just little mice. And they dug little tunnels under the ground all over the place. It was a perfect mouse freeway with roads here and there going from house to house. It was just the best life that the mice could imagine. And on the other side of the village was even a lake where they could go and swim when it got too hot. Can you imagine how wonderful life must have been for them? But one day, a herd of elephants came walking along the jungle past where the mice lived in the village. And they looked through the village and they saw the lake on the other side. And they said, "It's a very hot day. We should go and swim in the lake." And so that elephant herd started making their way through the village to get to the lake. Now, elephants are really big, right? And when they walk, their feet clunk, clunk, clunk on the ground. As they went through the village, going over top of where the mice tunnels were, some of them were collapsing, some of them were just shaking to pieces, and the mice were terrified. They didn't know what to do. When the shaking suddenly stopped, or eventually stopped, the mice came up out of their tunnels to see what had happened. And they saw elephant footprints on the ground. And they could hear splashing and elephant noises coming from the lake. And that told the story. And the mice quickly got together and held a meeting. They said, if the elephants come back through here when they're done at the lake, there won't be anything left. All of our tunnels will be collapsed. It'll be in ruins. And so they decided they needed to prevent that from happening. And so a group of brave mice went to the lake, and they found the king of the elephants. And they said, "Excuse me, Your Highness, we need to talk to you." And they explained that the elephants had come through their village. They said, "If you come back that way, you'll ruin the rest of what we have. Would you please consider going around the village when you leave? If you do this for us, we promise that we will pay you back someday. We will do you a favor just the same as you did for us." Well, the king of the elephants kind of laughed behind his trunk because he couldn't imagine what could a mouse do that would help an elephant. But he was a kind elephant, and so he agreed that he would lead his elephants around the village. And so they did. And the mice were happy once again in their village, and the elephants, when they came back to the lake, always went around the village to get in. Except their footprints were still visible as they went along, and some human people saw those footprints in the dirt. And they thought, aha, we can hunt elephants at the lake. So one day, when the elephants went down to the water, the humans were waiting with big nets. And they threw them over the elephants when they had jumped into the lake. And the elephants struggled and struggled to get free of the nets, but it was useless. They couldn't get free. All of the elephants were caught, except for one little elephant who was still nervous about jumping in the lake, and so she had been just waiting on the shore, and so she didn't get caught. And the king of the elephants knew what he had to do. He called the little elephant over to him, and he said, "You must be brave. We need you to go back to the village and find the mice and tell them that we're in trouble." And so that's what she did. She quickly went back to the village. When the mice felt the shaking, at first they were terrified. But when they peeked up, they saw one little elephant who was calling, "Help, help!" And she told them, "All of my family are caught in nets by the lake, by humans. Please come help us." And so they did. The mice scurried after the little elephant all the way down to the lake. And they saw the elephants trapped in the nets. And quick as a wink, they jumped up to the nets and started chewing and chewing and chewing. And it didn't take them very long to chew holes enough in the nets that the elephants could break free and escape. And the king of the elephants never underestimated mice or any other little animals ever again. I hope you liked the story, Azaria. And if anybody else out there watching has any other ideas, any other stories they like to hear or things they want to hear stories about, just let me know. So we are going to have a story here in a minute that's going to be about a certain kind of bug, a certain kind of arachnid. If you want to be precise, an arachnid is a spider. And so I think it's a good time to do the itsy bitsy spider. Remember, if you can't quite work your fingers, you can always climb your spider up your arm instead. So here we go. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. What about the teensy weensy spider? Make a little teeny spider, or just make a little teeny spider climb up. The teensy weensy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the teensy weensy spider went up the spout again. What about the great big hairy spider went up the water spout? Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the great big hairy spider went up the spout again. I hope that you like spiders too. I like them. I have another story now about another small little creature who was able to do something very big. This is a Native American story, and it's called How Grandmother Spider Brought Fire. A long, long time ago, see, when the earth was first made, there was no sun and no moon and no stars, nothing to give light or heat. Everyone just lived in the dark, all the people and all of the animals and all of the birds. Until one day, Raven came flying into the middle of the crowd and summoned everyone around and said, "I have heard that on the other side of the world is something called fire, and it makes everything light and warm. Well, of course, everyone wanted to see some of this fire. They wanted to have some for themselves. Raven said that it was too far for him to fly. Possum raised a paw and said, I can bring back some fire in my long furry tail. And so off Possum trotted all the way to the other side of the world, where he found fire. And he took a small piece of burning wood and he tucked it into his tail and started to make his way back. But before he had made his way back, the fire started to smolder and burn all of the fur off of his tail. By the time he got back, the fire had gone out and the possum had no fur left on his tail. And in fact, if you find a possum these days, you'll see they still have bare tails with no fur on them. Well, Buzzard raised a wing next, and Buzzard said, I can fly to the other side of the world. I can fly farther than Raven, so I will bring back the fire. And off he flew. And all the way on the other side of the world, Buzzard found fire, and he took a small piece of burning wood and he tucked it into the feathers along his neck and started to fly back. But the fire caught those feathers on his neck, and it burned and burned, and by the time the Buzzard made it back to where he came from, there were no more feathers anywhere on Buzzard's neck and head. It was just completely bare and bright red. And if you see a buzzard anymore today, you'll see buzzards have no feathers on their neck and head, just wrinkled red skin. Well, at this point, nobody really wanted to go after the fire. They didn't know what would happen to them. But then they heard a tiny voice. It was Grandmother Spider. And she said, I can go get the fire. Nobody wanted to say anything because Grandmother Spider was old and respected. They didn't think that she would be able to do it, but they certainly didn't want to tell her she couldn't. And so off Grandmother Spider went. But before she started making her way to the other side of the world, she went down to the river and she dug up some clay and she shaped it into a tiny pot. And when the pot was shaped and had a nice tight-fitting lid, she took a thorn and she made a tiny hole in the lid of the pot. And then when everything was set, she took some spider thread and tied the pot to her back and started to make her way to the other side of the world. It took her a long time because she was not very big, but she did get there and she saw fire. It was beautiful and big. And she took a tiny bit of the fire and she put it in the pot where it smoldered and burned, and the smoke came out through the lid, and that was how it got air in too, so it could keep burning. And then she made her way back. Nobody thought that she was going to make it, so they didn't notice when she came crawling back into their little world until they saw the pot of water that they had sitting for people to bathe and to use it to drink suddenly start to steam because Grandmother Spider put the fire under their big pot. Everyone was amazed. They gathered round to feel the warmth on their paws and their hands and to feel the steam coming up to their faces. And they said, this is a very important gift. Who shall take care of the fire? The animals and the birds were still a little nervous about it, but the people said, we will care for the fire. And so Grandmother Spider taught them how to tend the fire and how to keep it burning and how to give it wood and make sure that it still had air so that it could grow. And then Grandmother Spider spun a beautiful web and strung fire all through it and threw it up into the sky. And that's where the stars come from. A whole spider's web full of fire. Let's sing a clapping song. And I want you to pay close attention. You know the song, I bet. You need to listen, so when we clap faster, you clap faster. And when we clap slower, you clap slower. You ready? Clap, clap, clap your hands together. 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 Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap, clap, clap your hands together. 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 Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap, clap, clap your hands together. Clap, clap, clap your hands together. Clap a little slower now, clap along with me. Clap a little slower now, clap along with me. Clap, clap, clap your hands together. Clap, clap, clap your hands together. Clap a little softer now, clap along with me. Clap a little softer now, clap along with me. Clap a little louder now, clap along with me. Clap a little louder now, clap along with me. Clap, clap, clap your hands together. Clap, clap, clap your hands together. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap, clap, clap your hands together. Clap, clap, clap your hands together. Can you go even faster? Clap, clap, clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap a little faster now, clap along with me. Clap, clap, clap your hands together. 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 Are your hands sore? Thank you for clapping with me. Well, I hope you enjoyed the stories today. I know that I enjoyed finding them and I enjoyed telling them. I really like to share stories like this. You know, sometimes it's fun to read stories from a book, like we do at some of our other story times, when we show the pictures and we tell stories that other people wrote. But there's something kind of special about telling stories that we just remember, that maybe my mommy and daddy told me when I was little, and maybe their mommies and daddies told them, or maybe my grandmother told me, or my aunts and uncles. We used to do that in my family. Maybe your family does that too. And we pass the stories on and on and on. And so everyone in the family remembers that story about the dog that Grandma used to tell. Or do you remember that spooky story that Uncle Bob did? I hope that you enjoy telling stories too. And maybe when you're done watching this, you can go tell these stories to someone else. I hope you do. For now, let's everybody, oh, this is my favorite part. I need this. Let me see you reach for the ceiling and touch the floor. Stand up again. Let's do some more. Touch your head and then your knees up to your shoulders like this, you see. Reach for the ceiling. Ooh, and touch the floor. That's all there is. There isn't any more. I'll see you guys later.